It's not working. Let's see if I can. There we go. So, I know it's like 1 a.m. Mountain Time, Sunday morning, and probably none of you are awake, but I thought I'd do this live stream in case anyone is and wants to chat. Basically, my old life, I was an IT guy, and I still have one customer who is my brother-in-law and his business, and I have remote management and monitoring set up on it, and I got a text message on my phone saying someone installed the program, and then I got a text message saying there was a Trojan on the network. So now here I am, 1 o'clock, fixing the computers. One of the computers has ransomware, and it's just got to be completely redone. The other computer, which is their server, so I'm kind of freaking out a little bit, is what I'm waiting on now. But hence this live stream to see if anyone has any questions or wants to chat about anything while I'm fixing stuff. So there were 5 of you. Now there's just 1. So do you have any questions? I'm happy to answer them. If not, I'll just kind of hang out here by myself. My old skills, I don't know if I'd call this handy. I don't want to be here. I want to be in bed. It's kind of like a curse. But I guess it is what it is. Any questions about the print job or anything else? I've got to work on these computers, so I might as well kill some time, answer questions, see if I can help anyone. If not, I'll just be me here staring at the screen. If no one wants to chat, it'll be a really boring video. Lay the questions on me. The Summa cutter. It is freaking awesome. So one of the biggest things that I do is stickers. And so with the Summa cutter, having it, the contour cutting, like the perf cutting that you see on like a regular roll printer, this does through cutting. And because it has the mat that it sits on, it makes it really nice and really smooth for cutting. It's super awesome. I did a cardboard stand-up for my neighbor and was able to cut it out with that. I did some signs that I printed and put on top of foam core and then cut it out, and that worked awesome. Cutting banners works really well. Cutting canvas works really well. Posters. So a lot of the things that I would use the like keen cut for, which I've still used a little bit, it just makes it way easier with the Summa. So the nice thing is you're able to program it. It's perfect when it cuts. So like doing banners, they're perfect. Posters are perfect. Magnets are perfect. And the thing that I like about it is that they're all the same. So if you're doing multiple of the same thing, when you hold them up to each other or stack them or put them for whatever with shipping, they're the same. And so to me, it just makes me feel better providing that product to my customer through the Summa. So I really like it. Probably the number 1 tool that I used is the double-edged through cut, and then the kiss cut tool, and then kind of the third one is the electronic oscillating. So love the Summa, totally worth it, reach out to Garrett with Grimco. They were awesome to deal with to get it. If you need his info, let me know, but highly recommend. Happy, her question, I think, sorry if you're not a her, I think you're a her, but if you're not, I apologize. The winner, I will say that the winner has been notified. And sorry, Happy. The winner has been notified. And I will say that much. The video goes live Tuesday though. So the official announcement for the giveaway is Tuesday. And I apologize. I can never remember how to get the comments back. There we go. Mike. Appreciate that, Mike. Have I ever used it have I used my Summa for cutting flat sheets printed from the Konica? I have not used it for stickers printed from the Konica, but I have used it for a box. So as well as some cards, because I'm getting all the names mixed up. The Duplo, the smallest that it will do, like cut wise, is like 2 by 2, and I needed ones that were like 1.5 or thereabouts, and so I used the Konica to print those, and then cut them out on the Summa, and it worked. So it definitely, sticker stock would work, but it would be like I would need to set up more automation so that it would cut a sheet and automatically go to the next one, which you can do. I just don't have it set up. And then I could use you could do that probably pretty well by using my conveyor belt. You could stack it on the conveyor belt and try to get it to just like load one. There might be a way. That might have to be a video, but yes, I have printed stuff or cut stuff from the Konica on the Summa, and it does work. Raul says, I was looking into buying a used Zund, but I've been hearing good stuff about the Summa, so thinking about buying that. Yes, that was one of the reasons why I bought the Summa, was it was the only one that was like sub 100,000. All in, I was right around 60,000 for mine. So it's a really decent price. The hardest part about the Summa, at least for me, was that it's 3-phase power. So that was a little tricky to get. The building that I'm in has 3-phase power. It just didn't have it to where I wanted to put the Summa. So it took a little bit to get there. The only one, at least that I'm aware of, that is not 3-phase is the Colex, or I think that's what it's called, the Colex cutter. I think it's a 110, but love the Summa. Price point is great. There's a few more things that I need to figure out how to do on the Summa, but I was thinking about selling my roll cutter, but I realized I need it still because I tried to cut a really complicated HTV job, and it didn't like reading it. So I am going to keep my roll cutter so I can do that. So Mike is saying he bought a Konica Minolta AL230 roll-to-roll label printer. We also have the HP 335 with the Summa cutter of Flexi. I'm trying to find a way to use the Oppos mark instead of the HP barcode. So you should be able to use the Oppo marks just within Flexi. You can change what marks are shown based off of the cutter. That's one of the settings I'd show you, but I'm not at my office. But yeah, because with my new, like my flatbed Flexi, or my flatbed Summa, you can just do dots and have it read the dots. You don't even have to have a barcode. So I know it's possible. I'm trying to think where the setting is. I know you can like add the cut marks by just going to, I think, the effects. I don't even know the names of everything anymore because I just click them. I think it's the effects menu, and you can add the marks from there, I believe. I don't know. I don't have my stuff. I can't look it up on my phone either because I'm on my phone live streaming. So, any other questions? Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. I went to the park today. I should say the amusement park, and I had to get a stamp. Can I set up the die cut marks in Illustrator ahead of time? Yes. So with the Summa flatbed, they actually have a plugin that will automatically add the marks if you want to. That's usually what I do, but then you can move them wherever you want. And then the Summa flatbed has the software that it uses called Access Control, or it's either Access something or Go Produce. I can't remember which one. I think Go Produce. So you load, basically you can save 2 PDFs. So you have a PDF that you can print, and then a PDF that you send to Go Produce. And you don't want, basically, when you make the file, you want the registration marks, the cut lines, and then the printed file. And the PDF that you print, you don't print the cut marks, but you do print the artwork and the registration marks. And then the PDF that you save for cutting, you delete the artwork and you only have the registration and the cut marks. So that way, when you load that, it will just cut. And yeah, so yes, I actually did that for the cardboard cutout that I did. I got everything prepped in Illustrator, and then I printed the file and then set the other PDF to cut. So it is more complicated to set up than like a sticker job, just because with Flexi, it does it all and sends it and does everything, but it does make it nice to be able to have a little more control or to choose where the registration marks go if you're trying to fit the file within a certain dimension or something. In my case, I was, because I was trying to put it on cardboard. So it made it helpful to be able to not be constrained by the width of my media. Any other questions? The time is yours. Ask away. I'm waiting. Windows is attempting repairs. Yeah, as far as sending, I know you can load a print file directly in to Production Manager. So Flexi is like the design software, and Production Manager is the actual like print and cut portion. I know you can put a PDF right into Production Manager, because that's what I do for banners, is I just put them directly into Production Manager rather than going through Flexi. Flexi does have its issues. I know really you have the option of Flexi, Caldera, and Onyx. I did play with Onyx a little bit, and it's kind of weird to me. Onyx doesn't really have the same tool set as Flexi. Like, it doesn't have a designer, really. It has an editor, but like, I'm so used to like doing all my cut contour lines for stickers in Flexi, and Onyx doesn't have anything for it, so kind of was like a deal breaker for me because I don't want to set it up in Illustrator because it takes so much longer. Now, if someone knows a plugin for Illustrator that will do the same thing as Flexi with the cut contour lines, that would be nice. Any other questions, people? It's interesting to watch the numbers go up and down, up and down, up and down of the number of people that are here watching. It'll go up for 2 seconds while someone clicks the notification, and then they don't want to hang out, and so they leave. It's super late for me. It's 1:30. I was falling asleep in my bed when I got the notification. Oh, I want to hit the sack too. Have a good one. You can just leave the live stream going though. I can sing you a lullaby. I wish I could bounce too. I'm literally just waiting here. And that's why I thought I would do the live stream. It's okay if you guys leave me. I understand. The people that watch this live stream later can be like, what the heck was he doing? Make sure you hit the thumbs up before you leave. Oh, Netflix time. I see how it is. I'm not. Oh, Netflix time for me? Or Netflix time for you? Are you leaving me? Netflix is probably more entertaining than me. I would watch it myself, but I don't have a Netflix account. And I've watched all my YouTube videos, so there's nothing else to watch. I probably could lay back in the chair and fall asleep. I do have Amazon Prime, but I think I've only ever watched one show on there, and it was called A Man Named Ove, or A Man Called Ove. I can't remember, but it's like a Swedish book that was turned into a movie, and it has subtitles, but it was pretty good. So if you ever need at least what I consider a pretty funny movie to watch, A Man Named or A Man Called Ove. Don't remember which it is, but it was a pretty good one. My wife was mad that I watched it without her because she read the book and was telling me about it, and so that's when I saw it. When I logged in there for the first time, I was like, whoa, I'll watch this. I don't think I even have, I got a new phone. I don't think I have it on my phone. So, any questions? I'm an open book. Some of the pages might be torn out, but I am an open book. Have a good night, Mike. Susan, thank you. The move has definitely been crazy. I still don't feel like I'm done. I'm not. I still have stuff at the old house, or at my old job, my house. I was even talking to my wife about that today, of some things that I need to get out of there and move. And it's like the little things that you don't use all the time that, like the coils for spiral books, and some of the miscellaneous paper that I'm never going to use, and like the Bomb 714 Ultra Fold that I never use, and the conveyor belt is still at the house. So it's the little things that I still need to move, but I'm still not sure where to put everything, so I don't want to move it because then it just sits there. I'll get to it eventually. Whew. I deserve to yawn now. It's super late. I just want to go to bed. If you're in your bed right now, let me know. That's where I wish I was. For those of you that are here, that were not here at the beginning, I'm fixing computers right now because I still do that for my brother-in-law, and they had a ransomware attack, so I'm here trying to figure out what's going on. I have notification set up on my phone, and it pinged me, and so here I am at 1:30 in the morning. The computer, it's resetting. That may or may not be good news. I hope it's good news, but I think it's going to be bad news. It's not going to be good news. It's not going to be good. If you think it's going to be good news, let me know. If you think it's going to be bad news, let me know. I think it's going to be bad news. We're about to find out. I think the server is encrypted, which is going to be bad because they had this happen a few months ago, and I have not set the backup back up. So there is no backup. And if it's gone, it's going to be bad. Mateus, hello. It's probably like early morning for you. It's my bedtime. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm fixing computers and answering questions because I have nothing better to do at 1:30 in the morning. Ask your questions. 9:30 in the morning. It's 1:30 here in the morning. I was falling asleep in my bed. I had my baby in my arms, and I actually dropped my phone on her. And that's when I got the notification that there were problems at this office. And it's making me regret having them as a customer. Mateus, how are things going at your shop? Not shop, that's not what I meant. Your side of the world. I'm losing my mind. This computer is not restarting. It's thinking about it. I saw a box of tissues here somewhere. It's behind the computer. You guys have any questions about life, universe, printing? How about this? I'll ask you guys a question. I have run out of things to watch on YouTube. I guess relatively new content. So are there any things on YouTube that you would suggest? Is there any videos or a specific creator that would be a good one? Mateus, I need a holiday. I definitely have not. Startup on Netflix from Design Lab. I don't have Netflix, but I will have to, I think Cam has one, so I'll talk to Cam. Nikki asks, what's my take on the BN20? So I released a video on this, but I do think the BN20 is a good starter machine. There's a few downsides to it. Like Design Lab said, it's slow. But when you're getting started out, that's usually not an issue. The other downside is the media size. I think it's only 24 inches. Or it might be 20 inches. I can't remember exactly which one is it. My local supplier of media will actually cut down media, which is nice. You can buy like a 54-inch roll and cut it into 3. If not, you are going to spend a little bit more money to buy media for the BN20. I've talked to a lot of people. None of them suggest the specialty metallic inks. They suggest just sticking with kind of the CMYK. But it's an affordable machine. It has the cutter built into it. It's a small footprint, small power consumption. So it's a great way to start if it's something that you're looking to kind of dip your toe in and thinking that, oh, I don't want to spend a bunch of money and I want to try it before I get into spending $20, $30, $40,000 on a machine. Like I said, I do have a video. If you search my channel, you can buy the BN20 from Todd. His information, I think, is in all of my descriptions or all of the new videos descriptions. They distribute them across the U.S., have decent pricing for them. It's really universal pricing. Everywhere you buy it, it's going to be the same. I do get a commission if you buy it through Todd, so don't buy it through Todd just to buy it through Todd. If you have something that you like, there's a lot of local places that do them as well. They're nationally serviced, so they're great machines. But Todd is great to work with, so that is an option. Like Design Lab is saying, you can even do shirts on it. Kind of the things that I know people have done are stickers, shirts, and smaller banners. Those are kind of the things that I've seen on it. You can do other things as well, really anything that an eco-solvent can do. Canvas, stickers, window clings. I kind of consider those stickers. What else? Yeah. Like I said, nice thing is it does have the cutter built in, but it is slow. And most people that have a Roland end up getting a secondary cutter because of that reason. The printing is usually a decent speed, but especially those that laminate, as you print, you have to cut off, you have to laminate, you have to reload, and if you're using your printer to cut, then you can't use your printer to print. So most of the time people end up getting another machine to do cutting after they've had that for a while and built up some work. So I do also have a BN20 calculator on my website. But yeah. Is there any issues, dry times between printing and cutting? So theoretically you need to let eco-solvent degas. A lot of people will cut instantly if they're not cutting on like the ink itself. If they printed and then are like leaving a gap and then leaving it like white and cutting on the white area rather than the printed area, then typically they'll cut instantly. If you want to print on the printed part, then it's usually suggested that you wait 24 hours before cutting so that it can degas. I have been told that some people only do it for like 6 hours, but suggested is 24 hours for the degas process. That's actually one of, I guess, the reasons I went with latex, was that most of the stuff that I saw my customers wanting was kind of quick turnaround stuff, and I wanted to be able to not have to wait for that. The downside to the HP with that is it generates a ton of heat, because that's how it dries. The latex prints is with heat. So pros and cons to every process, and you just have to pick the one that works best for you. I was looking at the BN20 myself when I first got into doing the roll stuff, but I did have a little bit bigger budget, which is why I went with the HP latex. What got me into printing? Originally, when I was in junior high, here, at least where I live, we do a work day where in junior high, which I was 14 or 15 years old at the time, you take a day and you go work with someone. And my neighbor owned a sign shop, so I actually got to play with a vinyl cutter, and I got to play with a laser, and one of his specialties was like building signs that had like, this is the suite number, this is the room number, and had Braille on it. That was like my first introduction and my first like, oh, this is way cool. And like his, like the vinyl cutter that he had, I remember it had a eye, like it didn't have cameras to register the media. You had to look inside this like lens kind of for a camera, and it had crosshairs in it, and you had to line it up before you would cut, and everything was a super manual process. That was kind of my first introduction. And then we ended up moving, and one of my new neighbors ran a promotional products business. And I'd always done computers, kind of like what I'm doing now. I had a love for computers, passion for it. Couldn't find a job at one point. Excuse me. So I ended up starting my own computer repair business and went to try to do business cards. And I thought it was stupid expensive, so talked to my friend that was a promotional products person, got some information, ended up starting my print business at the same time. So I was doing computer repair and printing full-time, well, not full-time, on the side, my little side hustle for years. And I finally ended up getting a full-time job working IT, and realized I didn't want to do an IT business on the side along with, sorry, I gotta log in here. Along with doing IT for my day job, I didn't want to do it on the side. And I also didn't like how my IT business was time for money. It was a one-to-one exchange of all the time that I spent is the money that I made, versus with printing, it was a multiplier. The amount of money that I could make was not dependent necessarily on the time that I spent to do it. So I started my business officially registered in 2009. I went full-time 2019, December. It's actually when I started my business, was December of 09. So 10 years doing it on the side before I went full-time. And my first machine that I purchased to use in my business was actually a vinyl cutter. I bought it off the local classifieds. I way overpaid for it. I paid more than it was brand new, but I didn't know that at the time. The nice thing about how I bought it, though, was I did get some media as well as some training, so it was probably worth it. Then the next machine, so that one I bought 2010, 2011 is when I bought the vinyl cutter, and then 2018 is when I bought the HP Latex, the 315, and then 2019 is when I bought the Konica and the Duplo, and 2021 was when I bought the Summa. I think this computer is screwed. It is not loading up the interface, which makes me super nervous. Not good. So yeah, that's kind of my story. I also bought some miscellaneous things, folders, cutters, stuff like that, but I highly suggest outsourcing as long as possible. Did I miss any questions? No. Any other questions? I fall behind more and more on outsourcing. Outsourcing has been my #1 thing lately. I do more outsourcing work than I do in-house. I actually was recording a video yesterday talking about some of my numbers, and in the video I realized I'm like, kind of what's the point of having my equipment? I don't make a ton of money with it. I maybe should rethink some things. Because yeah, I make more money outsourcing than I am doing stuff in-house. I'm really worried about this computer. What is the population of my city? I have no idea. That was a really good question. I will find out in a minute if I can get this computer back on. I can't look it up on my phone. I didn't feel I'm answering Nikki's question of what made me decide to switch. I didn't feel appreciated at my job. I didn't feel like the amount of work that I was putting in was being reciprocated in the compensation that I was receiving. I also didn't like that I was spending all my time helping achieve someone else's dreams and goals to then go home at night and not spend time with my family, which for the longest time I've still not spent time with my family. It's 1:30, well, it's 2 o'clock, and I'm fixing computers, but I wanted more control over my time. It's definitely been a really hard road. The video that I was recording was, I've been getting a lot of questions of how I went from closing the print shop to being successful, I guess. or turning it around. And I'm still not exactly sure how I've done it. I am definitely doing better, but I am still not at the point that I'm like truly paying myself. I am at this point taking money from the business to pay my bills other than my mortgage. But it's like paying for my utilities, it's paying for food, it's paying for the things that I need to survive, but it's not contributing to retirement, or it's not putting money away for a vacation. All the money that I am earning is still going in to grow the business, to buy product, to buy supplies, to buy different tools or knickknacks or whatever to help the business function or run better. Specifically, I've had to lately buy a lot of supplies because there's shortages, and so I'm trying to pick up what I can that I know is reasonable. But really, I think the biggest thing was I wanted more control over my future. It's been super stressful, and it would have been way easier to just keep my job. Financially, I'd be way more successful. Business-wise, I'd be more successful. But I'm a lot more happy. And I think that makes a big difference. So that's probably what kind of pushed me. Yeah, adding machines is definitely good. Like I said, I was making that video yesterday, and almost everything that I've been doing lately has been outsourced. A good chunk of my money is from outsource. I'm still making decent money with the machines in-house. Like I've done $20,000 with the HP latex, $20,000 with the Konica, or thereabouts, plus a few other things. But most of my money has been promotional products and screen printing, which I don't do in-house. So I definitely have to work towards, and I think it is my fault, like after stewing on it some more after the video, was like I need to push it more. It's my fault that the machines are not running as much and not making as much money. I'm not out there. Right now I'm really just depending on the business that I've already drummed up for the last 10 years and not working on building up more clientele. And so it's my own fault that that the machines are not more busy. I spend zero money on advertising, and that's, I think, part of the problem, is that I need to do some advertising, because right now I'm not doing, really the only thing I do to promote my business is BNI, as well as I'm on a couple of Facebook groups that are business services oriented. But I still have a problem, like, if you're not in my Facebook group, the links are usually in the description of videos, but I think it was Bob, I can't remember who it was. They have set turnarounds, and I definitely, I need to be better at that. I need to be better at, this product takes this long to produce. If you want it outside of that time frame, then you need to pay a rush fee, because I think that's part of my problems too, is that I get stressed with some of the stuff that I do in-house because I just do it, or say, oh yeah, I can do that and have it to you by tomorrow. And I shouldn't, because I have other things to do, and I want to go home and see my family, and so I need to be better. I need to have some standard turnaround times. my website is definitely lacking. It's decent. I recently added more things to it. But I should probably sell more directly from the website. Right now I don't sell anything on the website. It's just more of a, hey, this is who I am and this is the services, or these are the services I offer. I've had a lot of Karen customers. Most recently, a Karen customer I had, she ordered some screen printed shirts as well as some embroidered shirts. She provided everything. With the embroidered items, they were bundled. They were kids items, so they had a top and a bottom. They were wrapped in a bow and in a bag. And I told her that if she wanted me to unbag everything, that I would charge her 25 cents a piece to do it. And she said she did not want to pay me to do it and that she would do it. But then she was busy and didn't want to come do it. And then she complained to me that I didn't have the items done in the turnaround time that I said I would, which with those ones I said it would take 8 to 10 days to do because it was 240 pieces for embroidery. And she was mad that she finally came to get them done and she unbagged them all. And she did that on Monday, and on Friday she was mad that they weren't all done. And yeah, she's been lots of fun. The next time she asks me to do something, there will be a Karen charge, because if I'm going to continue to do work with her, it's going to need more administrative stuff from my side, and there is going to be that Karen charge on there, because she did it at my shop. She used my garbage cans. She used my building. She stored it there. So there's just a lot of things that it's like, I gotta charge. I gotta charge her more the next time if we're gonna have this type of arrangement. And she showed up to pick up the order in a full-on bikini. Like, it was super awkward for me. Super, like, my buddy was there, which I was grateful for, because it's kind of awkward if I was by myself. But I said to him afterwards, I'm like, would you go, like, in our case, would you go to a store in a Speedo? And it was, yeah. I just hope she doesn't contact me again. That's what I really hope for. Yeah, no one wants to see this in a Speedo. Not at all. It reminds me, no, I'm not even talking about it. I need to say no more. That's what I need to do. I haven't had to turn customers away because of artwork. Usually I can offer to remake it. I have my own rule, like, as far as artwork goes. Like, I won't do nudity. And I prefer not to do, like, boudoir, like, sexual type stuff, just because it's my own personal preference. But no, I haven't had to turn anyone away for that. Most of what I do is business related. It's usually logos, pretty simple stuff. Nothing. I don't think I've ever even done, I don't think I've ever printed anything that wasn't really a logo. Like, I've done a few things for friends that were like drawings or sketches or stuff, but almost everything I do is business related. Business logos, business signs. There's probably more money sometimes in the other things, but there's more consistency, I feel, in business. This computer is definitely infected. It's not good. Usually if a customer sends me something and it's bad, like a screenshot, I just let them know that while I can print what they provided, it will be pixelated, or the quality won't be what they're wanting. And most of the time they understand. If it's something simple, then usually I'll just send it to Penji and have them redraw it or something. If it's more complicated, I explain that to them and say, hey, we can do it for a charge or a fee, or I'd suggest changing the artwork so that we can do something that would look better. Most of the times there's not an issue. By the way, for those that are on here now, there's 10 of you now. I'm fixing computers and dealing with my old life. And I'm answering questions. So if you have questions, ask them. I will answer them while I am trying to fix the computers. This computer is definitely running super slow, and I see the ransomware file on here, but I think I got it turned off before the ransomware hit, which nope, I didn't. All of these, got it. Dang it. Oh, that's too bad. That's really too bad. Oh, this sucks. Life happens. Design Lad asks if I print copyright, like cartoons or mainstream things. I do not. I've had requests for it, and I politely tell them that I do not do it. Because one, I don't want to get sued, and two, I don't want to get sued. So, no, I do not do copyright stuff. You can even ask Cam. This computer got it too. Makes me really sad. Any other questions? They're gonna be really mad because this computer is not backed up. There was an issue with this computer a little bit ago, and I didn't get the backup set up again. So that sucks. That really sucks. Well, I'm done here for the night, so I'm gonna have to give them the bad news, and I won't be printing on Monday. So, any other questions before we end the live stream? We'll maybe go for 5 more minutes. Any last questions about printing, live, etc.? So Design Lab printers that handle cardstock, you would want something like my Konica. The lowest model Konica has, or I guess production printer, is the 3070L. You can also get something like the Oki Heavyweight Champion that does cardstocks for business cards. The Coolers, no, I'm not retiring from printing. I'm just fixing computers tonight because of a ransomware attack. And it is, in fact, ransomed, wired, and the computer is screwed. So, nothing good is happening. They're not gonna be happy. So Monday I won't be printing. Monday I will be dealing with this mess. The sad thing is they are taking their server and moving all but one application to the cloud, and it's just didn't happen soon enough. And now all their data is gone. So that sucks really bad. I use Cameron to edit videos. Cameron uses a video, or I think he uses something called like ABI Move. Although he bought another Mac. He had a Mac, then it died. Then he mainly used PC, but now he bought another Mac. So I think he uses iMovie sometimes too. I think it just depends on what he's editing on. Me personally, if I'm editing a video for the channel, if it's something simple, I do it on my phone using Premiere Rush. If it's a little more complicated, then I use Camtasia on my PC. If it's way complicated, I use Premiere Pro on my PC. But most of the time, my videos are pretty simple, and Cameron does it. Zombie graphics, you wish you could help me with what? Fixing the computer? I would love that. I don't want to do it. I don't want to give them the bad news. I think it's 2 o'clock in the morning, so I'll text him tomorrow, and then I'll be here bright and early Monday, which sucks. Yeah, I think we're all a little crazy, except like Mateus. It's 9:30 in the morning. Unless you're across the world, then it's bright and early in the morning for you. But for the rest of us, we all should go to bed. Life does suck, then we print. I should turn that into a t-shirt. That's what I want to work on, is some more fun t-shirts. I think the one I'm going to make myself is World's Worst Boss, or My Boss Sucks, or something of that nature. It's a good idea. I want to make some fun shirts for me to wear that are just punny. And then just, like, I just started doing the Print Life shirts for the Uninet giveaway, and I'm definitely going to wear that. I got one for Cam, too, so that he can wear one when he edits. So he's part of the team. But I want to get some more shirts like that are just fun, that I can wear, that are just part of the print life. The giveaway already happened. It ended Monday this week. The announcement video is going to go live on Tuesday of who won. So, any last questions before I drive back home 30 minutes and try to go to bed? Yeah, I've always done a little bit of everything. My life started kind of as like pre-press because I outsourced everything. So I was more of the prep the artwork, get it all ready to go, sell the product, send it to someone else to produce it. So actually, I still do a lot of that. Most of my money comes from selling stuff that other people make for me. That's what I am at heart. I'm just a salesman. Gotta find an excuse to buy all the toys that I want. Still have a few more on the list. Any last questions before we call it a night and some of us go to bed and some of us start our day? So, a couple more questions. I guess this is a thanks for the videos. I'm trying to start my online print business. You're welcome. If you have questions, let me know. Zombie Graphics asks, what was the scariest fear of going solo? Probably my biggest fear was that I would fail. That I wouldn't be able to survive. That I wouldn't be able to do the printing thing, and I would have to, like, quote unquote, resign and go back to a day job. It's definitely been a struggle, and I spend most of my money back on the business, so I don't feel like I'm like there yet. That the business is doing good. It's doing okay. It's paying all its bills, things like that. But that was probably my biggest fear. But being able to work full-time on it has made a huge difference. And also now moving to a shop has made a big difference. Being able to, like, actually have a place that people can come, that they can see what I do. I feel like that's made a big difference. But probably my biggest fear was failing. I did everything I could to kind of mitigate that before I quit by doing it part-time, slowly building things up, putting some savings aside. So I put things in place so that I could win, but that probably still was my biggest fear. Comments. I've been eyeing the Icolor printers, the 560 and the 600. Have you ever used the 560? I have not used the 560. I am giving away my 600. Love the printer. I actually, with the giveaway, recorded a segment, and the last time I printed on it before, like, last week, was February. So it's been 4 months since I used my printer, and that's why I'm giving it away, because I just am not using it. I did use it to make a shirt for a buddy that we screen printed the majority of his order, and then one toddler shirt. It's a great printer. I may end up getting a 560 in the future, but I don't want to focus on the smaller stuff right now. I want to focus on the larger orders. Like an order that I was working on this weekend is 200 yard signs, 145 shirts, 3 banners, and so they're big projects that I'm trying to do, not just 1, 5, 10 shirts. So that's really what it comes down to. Like I said, I may end up getting the 560 again, or going to the 560. The 560 comes with Smart Cut, which allows you to do bigger things. It's also, like, I used it a ton for masks. I used it for left chest, sleeves. But again, a lot of what I'm trying to push people to buy more shirts, and doing more shirts is better to do screen printing or something else unless they need it super quick. But again, I'm trying not to do that kind of stuff. But I do think it's great. I like the 560. If it were me, I'd buy it from Heat Transfer Warehouse. I am an affiliate for them. I do get a commission if you do buy it, but they have worldwide shipping. They're great to deal with. They have lots of products. If you go to timetomake.com/icolor, it will link you there. Zombie, it is fearful for the failure, but I think there's a lot of things that you can do to set yourself up for success. Probably the biggest thing I did for myself, especially not knowing that 2020 was going to suck, was having some savings set aside so that on the months that I necessarily didn't make the money that I needed, I had some money set aside that I could pay my bills. Also, just being in a financial situation that, like, the only debt I have is my home. I don't owe money on my cars. I'm not spending, like, I don't have a bunch of services that I pay for every month. Like, people were saying here, oh, you should watch this on Netflix. Like, I don't have Netflix. And it's a choice because I don't want to spend $7, $8, $10 a month, whatever it is. I honestly don't even know what Netflix costs because I'm trying to just not spend money on things that I don't need right now. In the future, it's definitely something that I would like to have, but right now it's not necessary, and it helps reduce the money that's going out. Come here, comments. Pricing sucks. That's why I came up with my calculators. And honestly, coming up with my calculators that's probably one of the things that changed my business. Because before, it was very, I think I'm making money, I think this is what it is. Now all my pricing is based off of what my costs are. My calculators are set up so that I know what stuff costs me, I know what margin I want to make, and that's what I charge. So having my cost calculators that are able to bid everything, that was a big game changer for me. I want to do 11/17s in one press. Smart Cut might be the way to go. I definitely think, really for me, I think there were only 1 or 2 jobs that I ended up doing that would have used a full 11/17. And I think Smart Cut is usually a better way to go because you can't do full 11/17. You can really only do 10/16 with the 600. So for me, for half the price, especially when I bought mine, it didn't come with Smart Cut. And now that it does come with Smart Cut, to me, it's a no-brainer. So, same here, Zombie. Same here. I've done sublimation, but I don't do really anything right now. I've sold some sublimation stuff, but I think right now, if I were to get into sublimation, it would be a lot more of the small stuff. It would be the one-off coolers and mouse pads and cups, and it's not that you can't sell larger things, but I just don't feel that my business is going that direction. I don't feel that genre is necessarily something that I want to do in-house. Like, I'll sell coffee cups all day, and I'll sell 100, 200, 300, 500, whatever. I don't want to produce them because it's not worth it to me when through promotional products I can pay like $2.50 and they're delivered to the customer. So I'm not going to spend the time and the money to do that all on my own when I can just pay someone else to do it. Plus, like, if I want to do an all-over transfer, I gotta have a bigger heat press. I want a bigger heat press. If I want to do coffee cups, I gotta buy a coffee cup press. Don't want to do that. So I've thought, really the biggest thing for me that I thought about with sublimation is I thought about buying the printer to sell transfers, but I don't want to get into the transfer game either. I've had a lot of requests for people to buy white toner transfers, and I don't want to do it. I think if I were to do it, I would sell like unfinished transfers where I would print the A and sell the A and the B together. But I don't want to be in the transfer game. Like, it's not what I am, who I am. I want to sell promotional products, shirts, printing, stuff like that. So there definitely is money in sublimation, though. I know a company that just sold that their all they did was blankets, I think, and pillowcases, and that's all they did all day, every day. They had a heat press that was like 48 by 48 or something like that, and they did blankets, pillowcases, and they made really good money. But it's just not something that I want to do. So yeah, if you have questions, send me an email, ttmakesomething@gmail.com. But any last questions before we sign off? We'll give you 30 more seconds to put in any other questions. If not, I'm going to sign off and go home. It's 2:30 here. I'm ready for bed. All right. Well, thanks all for being here. Yes, let's all get some sleep. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me before you leave. I appreciate that. Again, if you have questions, you can leave them in the comments down here. You can shoot me an email. I'm going to drive about 30 minutes and crawl into my bed. And I will see you guys all on Tuesday with the next video. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me while I figured out what was wrong with these computers. Sadly, it's going to be more work Monday. So thanks all for being here, and we'll see you in the next one.